There's this invisible, ancient, and unbelievably powerful force that basically runs our entire world. It shapes our planet, our bodies, and yeah, even our future. So let's pull back the curtain on this hidden world together. So let me ask you a question. What do you think they are? Humans? Dinosaurs, maybe? What about insects? Well, the answer is probably not what you'd expect, and it's been right under our noses, and actually inside them, this whole time. The answer is microbes. They are the original inhabitants of Earth, and they've been here for 3.5 billion years. That's not just before plants or animals. That's so long ago, they literally built the stage for all other life to even show up. Now, let's try to wrap our heads around the scale here. This number, 10 to the 31st power, that's the estimated number of just viruses on our planet. To give you some perspective, that is way more than all the stars in the observable universe. It's a number so big, it's almost impossible to really comprehend. And their impact? It's just as massive. In fact, it's connected to you right this second. Go ahead, take a deep breath. Okay, half of the oxygen you just inhaled, it was made by marine microbes. Yep, they are a fundamental, non-negotiable part of Earth's life support system. So with that life-giving breath in mind, let's dive into our first big idea, how these tiny organisms are truly the planet's unseen rulers. This timeline just puts everything into perspective, doesn't it? Microbes show up 3.5 billion years ago. Land plants, they don't arrive until a mere 500 million years ago. And us, modern humans, we're just a blip on the radar at 200,000 years ago. We are literally living in a world that they built. And that's why they're not just ancient, they are absolutely essential. Think of them as the engines driving the great chemical cycles, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, that make Earth a living, breathing planet. Seriously, without them, these systems would just grind to a halt.
Okay, now let's get personal. For our next section, we're going to zoom way in, from the entire globe right down to your gut.
So get ready for a little bit of an identity crisis. I mean, just look at this. If you were to count up all the cells that make up you, you'd find that microbial cells outnumber your human cells by as much as 10 to 1. So in a very real way, you're not just a person, you're a walking, talking ecosystem. And these little passengers aren't just along for the ride. Oh no, they are our internal allies. They help us digest our food, they train our immune systems, and get this, they can even influence our mood. Each and every one of us has a personal collection of these microbes, a microbiome that's as unique as a fingerprint. And beyond our bodies, we've been partnering with microbes for thousands of years. Just look at this list of everyday things: yogurt, cheese, bread, even chocolate and wine. All of them depend on fermentation, a process totally driven by microbes. It's one of humanity's oldest and, let's be honest, tastiest biotechnologies. This brings us perfectly to our third section, where we're going to explore how we've gone from these sort of accidental partnerships to deliberately putting microbes to work for us in some really amazing ways. One of our greatest breakthroughs ever came from turning microbial warfare to our advantage. See, microbes have been fighting each other for eons, producing these powerful chemical weapons. We just learned what to call them: antibiotics. And that's just a tiny glimpse of how we use them. I mean, look at this table. In medicine, they give us wonder drugs like penicillin. In agriculture, they're like superchargers for the soil, acting as natural biofertilizers. Environmentally, they help us clean up our own messes, like oil spills, by literally eating the pollution. And in industry, they can even produce biofuels. They're like the ultimate microscopic workforce. So let's shift gears and look ahead into our final section, because if microbes built our past and pretty much run our present, you better believe they are the key to solving the challenges of tomorrow. The biorevolution is already here, and it is totally powered by microbiology. That famous CRISPR gene editing tool? Yeah, that was discovered in the immune systems of bacteria. Advanced mRNA vaccines, biosensors for diagnosing diseases, even the mass production of insulin, all these breakthroughs come from our ability to understand and work with microbes. This is all leading us into this new era of synthetic biology. The best way to think of it is like programming tiny microbes to become microscopic factories. We can custom build them to produce exactly what we need, from life-saving medicines to brand new sustainable materials. It's wild. And this whole field is just exploding right now, and for some really critical reasons. As this chart shows, we desperately need new antibiotics, we're searching for solutions to climate change, and our technology in genomics is advancing at an incredible pace. All of these drivers are pointing to a future that's built on biology.
And how far could this go? Well, maybe even to other planets. There's a field called Astromicrobiology, and it studies the toughest microbes on Earth, the ones that survive in volcanoes or deep-sea vents or frozen deserts, to help us figure out what life might look like on a place like Mars or Europa. I want to leave you with this final, really powerful thought. It just perfectly captures the true hierarchy of life on Earth. They do not need us, but we absolutely, fundamentally cannot exist without them. They really are the true, unseen rulers of our world.